Okay, we have our shark. He's got his swimming commands. We've got our fish, and we've called it orange so that when I have a later fish, I can call it blue or yellow. Now we have to add the score. Thinking ahead, the score goes up every time the shark eats any of the fishes we're going to create. So I'm going to put the score command under the shark. It's also common to put a score or a timer under the backdrop if you wanted to. The backdrop also takes code. But in our case, I'm just going to put it under the shark. So this will be part of if touching orange, open his mouth, wait a second, close his mouth, and I need a scoreboard. So I go down to variables, and I'm going to create a variable, make a variable, and I'm going to call it score. And you can make a variable that only one sprite, like you can have, I don't know, different characters keep independent scores, but this is going to be for all the sprites. So there it is, a score called score. So now I go back to the shark command. If touching orange, change score by 1. So there it is. If touching orange, switch mouth to open, change score by 1, wait 3 seconds and close your mouth, which brings us back to initial conditions. At the very beginning, when the green flag is clicked, I better set the score to 0. So let's see what happens here. He's swimming around, no problem. He sees the fish. He bites him. He gets a point. That's cool. Fish comes out again, bites him, gets a point. Everything works. Hit the green flag, and it all sets to 0 again. So everything seems to work. That's fine. So for all practical purposes, we've got the game done, at least for one fish. But let's go ahead and add another fish. I'm going to choose a sprite. I'll go back to the fish sprite. And because it's a different color fish, I don't want it to look alike, I'll choose that fish. So I can go ahead and delete the others. And this is fish B. I don't like that name. I'm going to call him blue. And then back here, I'm also going to call him blue. So now I've got orange and blue, and you can see why it's useful to use those names. I can tell exactly what it is. Now make blue small also. Now, the swimming commands for blue, I want to be the same as the commands for orange. So to save time, I'm going to go here and drag them in. In your program, orange and blue and your other fishes are all going to be programmed differently. But I just want to be quick to get to the important part of this lesson. So there it is. I don't want him to start in the same position, so I'm going to start him at over on the right side of the screen at positive 233. And he's going to wait 2 seconds before he comes in. So let's click the green flag and see. There comes orange, and a second later, there comes blue. So life is good there. Now, additionally, I've got to have him hide when he touches the shark, just as orange does. So I take that code from orange and I drag it into blue. So there's blue. He goes to his starting position when it begins, and if touching the shark, he hides. So here we go. Boom, he hides, he's gone. He hides, he's gone. Same story. They disappear and they appear somewhere else. So that's pretty good. Now for the scoring. Because I thought ahead and I had the scoring under the shark, if touching orange, look how quick it is to include blue. I do an OR, and I'm going to replicate this, duplicate, and I have if touching orange or touching blue, then bite, change the score, switch costume. So now, here he is, he bites orange, that's cool, he bites blue, that's cool. Score goes to 3. Somewhere in there he bit blue, so now it works fine. So that's a clever way to have the bite command, the score command. You can just do touching blue or touching orange or touching yellow or whatever. So I think that's all of the things we needed for this one. Notice the important points. I named the game right at the beginning. For every sprite, there is a name of the sprite, which is logical, makes it easy to understand which one I'm referring to when I read the code. And for the costumes, there's only costumes that are being used in the game, and I've renamed them things that make sense. I go to orange, and there's only the costume orange. I go to blue, there's only the costume blue. And I've set the initial conditions, and as little bugs arised in the program, I troubleshooted them as I went. So this is a pretty good start to the game. We go on from here and we add another fish and give him a different kind of swimming than orange and blue, and then we add our bad fish, and this is where you learn to troubleshoot, iron out problems, and make your game good. So I hope this works for you and helps you understand better how to do this. Have fun. Go ahead and finish your programs up today.